Hey guys, and welcome back. You're back with Darren at Green Pro Clean Limited, window cleaners in Nottingham, Derbyshire, Yorkshire and Leicestershire. And today's video is the answers section to March 2020 questions and answers. Now I know it's the 23rd of April, but this CO19 has become so bloody depressing, I mean seriously depressing here, that it's I just haven't had the energy, I just haven't had it in me to do a video. And if you want to know the situation down here, by down here I'm in the Philippines of course. We're surviving it better than you guys by the look of it. Down here at the moment there's still less than 500 deaths, still somewhere below a few thousand confirmed cases. You're getting kind of caned in the UK. Reason down here being is when this started back in February, they started getting on top of it. They closed down the schools, they closed down major sports events, etc. They started closing down any large gatherings. Then they started enhanced quarantines, etc. This here is an official pass from the local sheriff, from the local captain of the barangay. This is an official pass. You only get one per household, and one person per household can get one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's about 9 of us live on this whole combined property. It's a large property, and there's me and my wife, mother and father-in-law, and in the house over yonder is my brother-in-law with his wife and only 2 kids, 8. The rest of the kids are away at the minute. They're with family further north. And out of the 8 of us, I am the only one who has a pass to leave the property, to go and get food, medical supplies, that kind of thing. And the reason that I'm the one that's got it is because my father and mother-in-law are senior citizens who have health complications anyway. The wife doesn't drive. My brother-in-law has had some serious health complications in the past year, so we don't want him out and about, possible exposure to this. And his wife doesn't drive, and their 2 kids are too young to drive. So as I am the only one capable, and I'm also kind of lucky, not being one of those, oh yeah, it never happens to me types, but I'm sort of, I'm that guy that just never gets the sniffles. I never get that runny cold crap, do you know what I mean? I'm too many years at 40 a day on the fags, I reckon. But to top things off, they've also got a liquor ban in place down here. That means no licking. No, I mean literally, no liquor. You can't even buy the beer down here. Not that you want to, because the beer is shite, and well, the cider is just non-existent. So positively suicidal, lads, positively. But let's get down to it. I'm going to answer your questions. Now, I want to say I've had a query through on the email from Gavin, who's new to WFP, and he's worried about scratching the glass with his WFP. And Gav, I just want to say it's literally impossible, mate. You would have to go a long way with a lot of pressure on that pulp, literally ramming it in there, shoving it, bashing the hell out of that glass to scratch it. It's just not really going to happen. A lot of builders on new builds and that will, when the customer sees that the glass is scratched, will go, oh, that'll be the window cleaner then, innit? No, it's the shoddy, crappy builder's work that does that. That's not you, mate. So chances are slim to absolutely bloody none. But that's why we have insurance, for on the off chance that it does happen. Now, if you guys are emailing me through my Green Pro Clean website, feel free. But do include your email in the actual text of the message, because when you send it through to me, it just comes through as info@WordPress, which is my own bloody address. So I can't actually respond to your emails unless you write it in the text below. But let's get moving forward. JH Best View, and this is from quite a while ago now. These are all back from March time, so I do apologise for this, guys. But JH Best View, what's my best advice in dealing with customers who text and request, not today, thank you, come next month? He loses up to £70 a day to these people. My advice for them is you've got to weed them out. You've got to find out why they're saying don't come today, come next month, etc. And the reason behind it is quite often some of them will say don't come today. Well, they could be on holiday, they're probably away in Turkey or something, or wherever people go on vacation. Obviously not during this CO19 crisis, but regularly. Maybe they're off to the hospital, family's having a baby or something, who knows. But qualify why they're doing it, qualify. If they're a regular repeat offender, you've got to phone them up and say, oh look, listen up love, it's a regular monthly service, that's what you pay for, that's why you get a low price. Now if you'd like it every other month, I can do that for you, but the price will be XYZ. Or if you're just looking for a one-off, don't call me again, bye, click, end of. Get rid of them, cut out the dead weight. Another option is if you've got a lot of people who do cancel, monthly, if you've got that many customers that cancel monthly, what we found was we were in a similar boat. Once we got up to 30, 35 customers, we were getting a couple of cancellations every day. And by cancellations, I mean a couple, not this month, mate. And it was generally because people were just on vacation, etc. So what we ended up doing was we overstacked the books, we overcooked the books, so that we'd put an extra, basically, you'd work from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. and you would have enough jobs to ensure that you would be busy that entire time. So when we send out a text on a Monday, by the Tuesday morning when we got a couple of texts back saying, not today, thank you, we're blah, 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 we're in Turkey, we're in Costa del Brava or whatever it's called, you still have enough jobs to make your monetary target. So as long as the boys were bringing back the 340 quid a day, it didn't matter. So they'd go out there, do those jobs. If everybody had the job done, there'd be a couple of extra quid on the job. But it was rarely the case. So we'd always end up doing generally finish up by about 3 o'clock. But as long as you come in with the monetary target, that's all that matters. So overstack your books. Moving on, Jordan Cooper. Hope all's well with the COVID-19 over there, mate. It's all brilliant, mate. The COVID's going fantastic. It's doing great guns. But I get what you mean. I hope you're well too, Geordie. I'll catch you soon. Zupez. Hi, Darren. I'm currently working full-time but looking to start a weekend job to earn a little extra cash. I was researching easy to start businesses and came across the idea of window cleaning. This goes on a bit, so I'm going to cut this up into sections. Okay, so you were researching easy to start businesses. Well, yeah, you absolutely couldn't be any possibly further from the truth if you tried, mate. Here's the thing, Zupez. Window cleaning is easy to do. Once you've been shown by a professional window cleaner how to clean a window, it's an easy thing to do. However, your first 3-bed semi that you go out and do is going to take you an hour more to do it right, to do it proper, to get it done. Why? Because you don't have the years and years and years of experience that professional window cleaners have that makes it look like a doddle. You watch pro window cleaners, they turn up, they're not even looking at the window, they're not even paying attention, they've got their headphones in, they've got a fag on the go, they're having the FaceTime with the grandkids whilst they're cleaning the windows at the same time. But they know what they're doing. It's muscle repetition, it's habits, it's good practices that they've developed over years that make it easy. So getting the skill set, not as easy as you might think. It's an easy thing to do, cleaning a window, when you know how to do it. It's like, let me think about this. Let's go back to old school car restoration. It's easy to change a carburettor if you're not me. I ain't got a clue what I'm doing with a car engine. I ain't no mechanic. I'm not mechanically inclined. I don't have mechanical skills. So I wouldn't know which screwdriver to get, which spanner to get, what to do. So people sit there and go, oh yeah, you know, if you've got a 1500cc Spitfire from 1972, changing the carbs is a doddle. No, mate, it ain't, because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. So that's the first stage. Easy to do once again. The hardest part of the window cleaning business isn't learning how to do the windows. It's getting the customers. So like any business, you have to have customers. Just because you've decided that today you're called a window cleaner doesn't mean the customers are going to turn up. We can help you get customers. If you want to talk about lead generation, give me a holler. I'll happily help you out with that. But getting the customers is the hardest part. Getting people to trust you and being able to do the job well. So just a few quick questions. Do I think starting a window cleaning business without any experience in the field or having never owned your own business is a good idea? It's hard for me to answer because I've been self-employed for over 30 years. I've worked for myself for 3 decades now. If I had no experience in a field, I wouldn't start a business unless I was going into it with somebody to consult with a friend who was in the industry that could point me in the right direction, that could tell me how not to screw it up. And do I think a weekend side hustle is a worthy venture? No, I don't, because what's the side hustle? You know, oh yeah, I'll make a few extra beer money. No, mate, you'll just piss off regular window cleaners. That's all there is to it. There's lads out there doing this as a full-time occupation. If you want to get rid of your current job because it sucks and you want to start a whole new venture, a whole new way, then do it. Go for it. But if you just want it as a little weekend thing to get some extra pocket money in, no, because then you're treading on the toes of the lads out there that are doing it to put food on the family table. That's straightforward. So that's my advice in general for what it's worth. I know it's probably not what you wanted to hear. And moving on, Can I do a full in-depth guide going over everything, what's required before starting the business tour? It's all here, mate. Go through the channel. It's all here already, mate. So I'll move on. Where do people come up with these names for their YouTube? Okay. Right, if you break that down, it makes more sense. Unite all action. I think that's how it's meant to be pronounced. Two-part question. Hi, Darren, in the next 3 months, I'm going to turn over 30k plus a year. Window cleaning. So I'm just wondering, at what stage and turnover would you recommend going limited? So question 1, at 30k and above, it becomes more beneficially tax-wise to be a limited company. This is information I got from my accountant. I can't explain why. He just says, Darren, do this. I'll do it. And he saves me money. So that's what I did. So talk to a good chartered accountant. You'll find most of them will give you the first 30 minutes or hour on the house to determine whether or not they can be of good service to you. Number 2, if you go limited, what's the best way to pay yourself? Now, I only get paid the bare minimum. I think it's 11,000 something a year. I probably work for less than minimum wage knowing me. So 11,000 something a year that you get as the tax-free allowance. That's all I get paid a year in salary. However, at the end of each year, I get my dividends, and my dividends, I pay less tax on my dividends than I would if they were income. So that's why it's beneficial to be limited and to be the director or the shareholder of the company, because then you get it in dividend and you pay less tax on it. However, you don't wait till the end of the year because it all comes through, you take it as a director's loan. It's complicated. Once again, you need an accountant. 3, finally, what effect has the coronavirus had on our business? It's hurting one of the lads up north at the moment. He can't get out and about. Sole reason being is that he has a cough that he can't shake. It's totally non-related to the coronavirus, but he's just rough as old boots. A few people are saying no, put it on hold until this is all blown over. But that's just to be expected. So we make him do. The lads all have their own individual choice. It's up to them if they're going out or not. I am saying to everybody, you make that choice. There is no repercussions. There is no penalties or anything like that for them not going out. That's entirely down to them. I will not put anybody's health at risk, full stop. So there we go. Lastly, as always, thanks for your input and hopefully you're all well. Yep, doing grand. As you can see, send cider. But anyways, let's move on. Mark, M-A-R-C, Mark. Hope it was well. May be difficult to answer, but how would I advise pricing big commercial work, office blocks, larger buildings, etc., when you're only really used to doing domestic and small commercial? Would I estimate price based on time, I believe? Or here's the thing with big commercial, mate. And right now is a prime example. I can't say I've never, I have always stayed away from big commercial, but I can't say I've stayed away from it in case of a pandemic. But now I'm getting messages from lads every other day. Lost 90% of their business because they focused on big commercial, and they've lost it overnight now for the foreseeable future because big businesses have shut their doors. They've gone home. They're not letting people in the office. They're going with this lockdown quarantine. They're all working from home. And they don't need the window cleaner. More importantly, the accountants aren't there. The company accountants aren't there to pay the window cleaner. So why get out there and do it? What I've always done with window cleaning for big commercial jobs when they've come to me for a quote is I have put in the biggest possible price I can think of. Not over exaggerated, but I've taken a price, I've gone, well, that's a day's work. My regular day rate is 360 quid, for example. So that's going to be 450 quid for me to do that job. Right, that's what I want to put aside the time and to go to the effort of having to do that job. It's an all-day job. I want 450 quid for that. Now, surprisingly, I've had 1 or 2 long-term big commercial contracts that have come back to me and gone, yeah, we'll go with you. And usually, I'm just that guy who's making up the 3rd quote because the big commercials, they're getting 3 quotes to keep the people happy, to prove they've done their due diligence and all that shite. So my quote is normally just the filler one that makes up the numbers so they can go with the lowest possible quote. But I've got a couple of big ones that come back to me and they've stuck with me over the years. And the reason they came to me was when I put in the quote, I did something else. Because I thought I wouldn't mind having that job at that price. And it'll be a cushy job at that price. So what I did was I put in my RAMs, my risk assessment and method statement. And mine's a printed document about yay thick with the risk assessment and method statements nicely bound. and I'd submit that in with the quote. And I'd do two things. I'd email the quote in, and I'd take one and I would deliver it by hand to the receptionist to be passed on to. So then they've got something to sit there and read instead of just browsing through clicks. Oh, how much now? Forget that, without seeing the rest of it. When you deliver it as a document by hand, bosh, they got on and he does that as well. Oh, that's nice. Just see what I'm saying? So that's how I nail the bigger quotes, but only if I want them. So do I go after them? Never. We just stick to the, what do you call it? Domestic. We like domestic. Why? If you've got £360 a day of domestic work and you get a cancellation, well, you've still got £340 a day of domestic work. If you've got a £400 office block that you do on the first Monday every other month and they cancel, you've lost 400 quid of business. So you've got to go out and find it again. Right, so Dave Monk, all right, do me a favour. Right, I've got to translate for you, because those that don't know Dave, he talks like this, eh? Hey, that's a Tart window cleaning van, that is, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, can't do. I don't know why I'm doing a faux scouse. He's actually a Manc, but I can't do a Mancunian, so that's the closest I'll get. But Dave Monk, all right, do me a favour, please, mate. Text me your mobile number over to... No worries, we'll do, Dave. I'll talk to you later today, mate. I'll get my number to you. Grandpa reacts. How's the lead generation business going? Fantastic, thank you. Are we still getting lots of clients? Used your service in the past, it was really good. Glad you were happy with it, glad you were pleased with it, and thanks for the recommendation there. We're still getting loads of clients. Ironically, we're getting even more now than ever before. Don't know why. Maybe people are stuck at home looking out the window. I was talking to my mate in London yesterday, he's telling me it's 25 degrees yesterday. Maybe people are sitting at home looking out the window going, Jesus, they're minging, we need to get that crap cleaned off of there. And people, I don't know, maybe more paranoid at the moment about having everything sparkly clean, about, you know, all surfaces clean. It's going great guns, mate, to be honest. So, yeah, absolutely. So, use a call, Grandpa. You need some more? Use a holler. So, Nelly. Whoa, Nella. Let's take a quick look. Hi, Darren, my advice is really useful. I'm Chad, but moving into WFP. What do I need for a DIY one-man setup? Thanks in advance. So somebody's actually answered this and said, cheap option is to buy a trolley system and use 25-litre tubs. Okay, if I had to do that, knowing what I know now, that would drive me insane. I would end up flipping burgers at Burger King if they were actually open. Are they open back home? Is your Subway's open? Is your McDonald's open? Can you? Because here, we've got a McDonald's way over the other side of town. It's about the only fast food outlet we've got here. But you can't actually go in, sit down and get a burger anymore. It's only open for the drive-through window. So when you go past there, the few people that can get out and about, because not everybody here owns vehicles, it's not like the UK. The few people that can get out and about, you'll see two cars in the line, then you'll see a woman stood at the drive-through speaker talking and walking along in the line to go get herself a cheeseburger. It's quite comical. But anyways, where were we? We were with Nelly. So it all depends on your circumstance, Nelly. If you're working on a really tight budget, then you need to figure out what you can afford. My advice is the biggest possible tank in a van you can afford. Why? Because you can put 300 litres of water in a 500 litre tank, but you can't put 500 litres of water in a 300 litre tank. You see the dilemma. So the biggest tank you can afford, mate, in the back of a van, and the best poles. So get yourself a nice light pole, that'll make all the difference. The money in window cleaning goes in two areas as far as I'm concerned. Everything else, it doesn't matter. Everything else you can make do and get by. But in window cleaning, the money needs to be spent in two areas. And the first one is your water purification. Your water's got to be perfect. And the second one is you've got to, your poles. Because the better the pole, the better the quality of the pole. It's like any tools. If you're using a cheap knockoff set of tools from Pound World compared to a top-of-the-line set of tools from a professional mechanic supplier, you know the difference. You see what I mean? So, yeah, go for the quality, mate. First thing you've got to do is establish your water quality. Are you going to have to buy in your water from someone like Spotless, or can you make your own at home? Do you need to go DI? Do you need to go DIRO, etc.? And then, and then from there, build it up from there. I was going to use my Shakespearean mug there to have a cup of tea, but I've run out. I'll have to go make another one. And it's not the end of the world quite yet. I can still get a cup of tea down here. London pressure washing, external property maintenance. Hi Darren, on the lead generation, how you much work in Kent? Right, so I'm guessing pressure washing and window cleaning. Loads on the window cleaning. We always get leads galore, mate. Don't matter where you are, we've got leads day in, day out on the window cleaning. On the pressure washing, different story. We don't target the pressure washing simply because we get people coming to us and for window cleaning. Why? Because everybody's got windows. Everybody's got windows. End of. Don't matter who you are, you got windows. As straightforward as that. Not everybody's got a driveway. Not everybody's got a patio. Not everybody's got a side path. So when we put out our adverts, etc., for bringing in the business, if it's pressure washing, for example, we will get 10% of the inquiries that we do for the window cleaning, for example. So that means that we would have to charge you several times the price. When it's window cleaning, you're going out there month in, month out, £15, £20 a month for the same repeat job, bosh, builds up over the course of the year, good couple of £100 in the old skyrocket. But when it's pressure washing or roof cleaning or something like that, you're going out there putting in quotes for hundreds, if not thousands of pounds in some cases. I know because I've been there and done it. And you'll get the people standing there saying to you, oh, well, right, let me think about that. And you will convert 10% of the leads that you get from us. And the price we'd have to charge you from the leads, you don't want to pay us to provide them for you. So just see what I mean? So it's kind of a catch-22. Until we can work it out and make it profitable, we stay away from doing that. So sorry, London Pressure, if you need window cleaning leads, talk to me, mate. But on the pressure washing front, I cannot assist with that at the moment. So moving on, old school window cleaner. Hi Darren, looking well, mate. Thank you very much. Hope you're okay. Yeah, surviving it. Been asked to clean a block of 3 houses. They want the brick walls cleaned down and removal of the green algae. As we're new to soft washing, any tips on how to quote the job would be great. I don't want to underquote it, but I don't want to price yourself out of the market. Well, make sure that you're hitting your day rate first and foremost. For each house, I will go in at a minimum of a day rate so that you can allow the time. You say block of 3 houses. I don't know how big they are. So a typical 3-bed semi, I used to allow 6 hours to do it, and that was at a steady, casual pace. That would be to apply the first coat, apply the second coat, any touch-up areas, etc. Then once you're done cleaning all the walls, you've got to do all the windows as well, because all that crap runs down over the windows. Then shit runs downhill. So then you've got to clean the floors as well, clean the surrounding areas. So I used to allow 6 hours and charge a full day rate for doing a 3-bed typical semi, for example. As for advice, best advice I'm going to give you today, get in touch with Francois at, I think it's called Algo Clear, Francois, and he will talk to you for hours and has a great product that does a really, really good job. But check out the Facebook, mate. There's loads of groups on it. I don't want to talk about specifically soft washing and chemical cleaning because it's nasty work. It can be dangerous, and I don't want somebody sitting there going, oh well, yeah, Green Pro gave you some of that on the so I did it and this is what happened. I don't want that responsibility. So I do apologise, old school, but yeah, my advice on the pricing: go in at a day rate per house, and don't say to them, oh, if all 3 of you have it done, I'll do a reduced price, because it'll be guaranteed that one of them's not going to want it doing, usually, and then the other 2 will go, oh yeah, well go on, do us a deal, just go in, look, that's the price, you know, that's it, and just stand by your guns. That's my advice. Davey Snow, will we see Darren on a jet ski in the next episode? From Benny Blunko in the Bronx. Well, Benny Blunko in the Bronx got kicked down the stairs, if you recall, early days, and he was a sneaky prick too. I had to shoot him in the back because he didn't have the balls to do it. But for those of you that don't know what we're talking about now, Carlito's Way, classic Pacino movie. But moving on, Davey, no. Been on them jet skis back in my youth when I used to live out in the States, and they're violent bloody things, mate. Yeah, oh mate, it's worse than riding. No, forget about it. I'm too old and too delicate for that kind of behaviour, so no, you won't be seeing me on a jet ski. Dares Jones, Dares, all right, Dares, there's again, Dares Jones. Hi mate, what would I suggest I could do with your time in isolation with the COVID-19? Couple of parts to this question. So my advice, mate, get all your housekeeping in order. Go through your books. Look at the jobs that have been time wasters. Have you brought them into order? Have you got your house in order? Have you said to them, listen, no more of this cancellation business? Have you had chats with the ones that are always like, oh, not this month, mate? And said to them, right, do you want to go every other month? Have you done Damo's traffic light system? Shout out to Damo at LGB. Have you done his traffic light system? Print out your customer list. Reds. bad customers, then they need a big price hike, or they need to have a chat, need to get the house in order with them. Yellows, decent customer but still need an extra £1 or £2 to make it worthwhile. Greens, good customers. Of course, green's always a good customer. But anyway, so that's my advice. Get your paperwork in order. Get on your social, get on your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your Tweeters, whatever they call it. And, you know, just pop some posts out there. Just talk to people. Let them know that you're still alive and that you will be back. Planning to go canvassing, had your first few jobs cancelled, understandably. Any advice would be appreciated. So, yeah, once again, when it comes to the canvassing, you don't need to be out there now, but take a look, work out your streets, work out a map, work out a plan exactly where you're going to hit, and hit as close to your house as possible. Start with your next door neighbours. You know, if you're friends with them and they've already got a window cleaner, why wouldn't they give the business to you? You know, because your mates. Start with your mates. Phone up all your mates. Here, listen, you've got a window cleaner, so I'm starting a window cleaning business. How much is he charging you? Do your homework. Find out what's going on in your neighbourhood. Could I get a shout out in my next video? Well then, Daz Jones, please mate, as the kids are asking, do we know each other as we have the same name? Bless them, cheers mate. So if it is kids, yes, absolutely. All people called Darren know each other. There is a secret club for Darrens. Only Darrens are allowed in the club, but Darrens aren't allowed to tell other Darrens or people that know other Darrens that they're actually in this club. So it is classified information, but yes, all Darrens know other people called Darren. But don't tell no one. So anyway, moving on. Richard Wilkinson. That's a good name, and it sounds like a rugby player, that good British rugby player. Richard Wilkinson. If you quote and clean a property 2 weeks before that estate is due, do you clean it again 2 weeks later to bring it in line, or leave it 6 weeks before the next clean? All works for... Right, I got what you're saying. So you've got a 4 weekly round. In the middle of it, you get a call out to do a quote. So you go and do a quote, and that person's like, lovely, when will you start? I always give them the choice. I say to them, look, I can either do this right now for you, but then it'll only be 2 weeks before the next clean, or I can start you in 2 weeks' time and get you on the regular round. So what would you like me to do? Do you want me to do them now and then again in 2 weeks, and then you'll be on the 4 weekly after that, or shall I just do them in 2 weeks for you? I find about 25% of them go, just start in 2 weeks. The rest go, no, you do them now and fit us on the regular, which is nice, because then you've got an extra bit of bubble coming in on windows that were only cleaned 2 weeks ago. So kind of handy, but that's what I do. Always give them the choice. Mark, M-A-R-C, well, yeah, that's a repeat of the post above about quoting large commercial work. So there you have it, boys and girls. Hope you found this useful. Crikey, it's a long one today. Oh, hang on, I've got something loading up on there about spotless water. It's okay, it's on mute, so it's not going to play in the background. So I hope you found this useful information. I am going to be getting back on top of the YouTube videos. I'm going to be doing a series of short business-related videos from my room here. I'm sitting inside today because it's just so damn hot out there. I'm not bragging, but it's over 30 plus degrees out there, and whilst it's lovely to live in this climate, when you can hop on the bike, whiz down the beach, go for a swim, or hop on the bike, whiz over the bar and get a cold beer, even if it is a crap beer that they serve here, it's tolerable. But when you're just stuck in the same place with this day in, day out, it's so there you have it. But stay safe out there. When you go out and see your customers, don't be shaking hands, you know, don't be touching things. Just talk to them from a distance, and as if you've got to talk to them. Get everyone on Go Cardless. Get them all on Go Cardless. I haven't got to pay you. I haven't got to hand you money. Money's nasty. Money's dirty. Stay away from it. Get on the Go Cardless. Anyway, boys and girls, that's all. I'm going to wrap it up here. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Comments down below. Ding ding. Subscribe, etc. etc. You know the jazz. Anyway, in the meantime, hasta la bananas. I'll talk to you all later. Ciao for now.